All right, everybody, welcome back to Dev Spot Podcast. We're here with another episode. We just wrapped up round one of the NBA playoffs. It was crazy, but now we headed into round two. Let's just get going right into these matchups, man. I think we got some good ones ahead. We're gonna start off with my guys in Miami. Unfortunately, we just got some news yesterday that Embiid probably gonna be out. He won't be playing. I'm a lot of Miami fans I've seen on Twitter and stuff was like, oh, cool, like I mean, ooh. To me, I really don't like that Embiid not playing. Like I'm just somebody that like to beat a team at full strength because I know how it be. Like, oh, we ain't had this guy, so it wasn't really valid. Like I felt good about us winning this series, regardless of Embiid, no Embiid, whoever. So it's unfortunate to me that we won't be seeing him. But I mean, let's just get right into Miami. I mean, when you look at it, I do strongly feel we the deepest team left. Like when you look at it, we damn near go 10 deep. Like, is Vic really back? Like, if Vic back now, we really got problems for y'all because now you come off the bench with Struce, Duncan, Vic, Vincent, Caleb Martin. And even that's 10 right there. And then if a big get in foul trouble or something, we need to just change it up. We could throw Devin in there. He gave us a couple good minutes here and there. Like he's not gonna play a lot of minutes, but a few spot minutes here and there for Bam or for PJ, whoever get in trouble. Okay, boom, throw him in there. And then Jimmy fucking Butler, a number one option. All year I've been hearing you bums tell me Jimmy Butler ain't this, Jimmy Butler ain't that. Oh, Jimmy Butler watch 30 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Come on, bro. What we doing? That's number one numbers to me. You know what I'm saying? We are ready to go. We ready to get these boys out of here. I don't even see with Embiid. I was gonna say 6, but without Embiid, man, I'm going 5. I don't see how they can stick with us. Lowry should be back. So you got Lowry. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy. No, sorry, I got Strus as a bench player. Strus start. Lowry, Strus, Jimmy, PJ, and Bam. And then you come off the bench with that second unit. Like I just don't see how we not getting all the way to the finals. We got too much shooting. We got too much floor spacing. Lowry, Jimmy, Bam can create shots for the shooters. Vic, if he playing, he can create shots for the shooters, and he's our best one-on-one player realistically. Like I mean, Jimmy is a good one-on-one player, but Vic, if he get going, he's a bucket, and they can't really do too much with him. They don't have nobody like Maxi's not finna do nothing to stop my guy. I'm so sorry. I don't know what y'all thought was finna happen, but it's not finna be that. You know what I'm saying? Thibault, okay, he's probably going to have to guard Jimmy. So if Vic is really ready to go, it's cookies, bro. It's not Miami in 5 easily. You know what I'm saying? You got James Harden, and I'm not as big on the James Harden as Wash. I just feel like he didn't alter his game. So like we not gonna. I mean, I wasn't expecting 35 points from him because he know he's not the best player on his team no more. He haven't been there for a couple of years, being that he was just with KD. So he's altered his game to become the point guard. So if he's giving you 13, 14 assists and your big man is still eating, I didn't feel like that was a problem. But now with Embiid out, we gonna need some old heart. We gonna need 30 for y'all to compete with my guys. Like that's not even. You gonna have to have some big games and still come up with some assists. But Maxi gonna have to be huge. Like Maxi is like you had a great year, you had a good run, but I mean, in the second round of the playoffs in your first playoff run, is he really ready to step up and be the difference maker against the ones? I feel like we gotta wait and see how that's gonna turn out because I just don't see that being what it is. I don't see him having a huge series. I feel like what we just was able to do to Trey, and Trey way better shooter than Maxi. So we could clog up Maxi and get him frustrated, get physical with him, physical without fouling too much. I feel like we could get him out of the series. So it's pretty much come down to Harden. Harden gonna have to be Houston Harden, and I just don't think he got that in his game no more. I don't know if he could give you 30 something a game every game. So I don't see how they do it. Thibault's not a scoring threat. They probably gonna start Niang for for Embiid. Cookies, man. Niang, Harden, Maxi. Oh, they got Tobias Harris. Like, what are we doing here? Like, bro, like Tobias Harris honestly don't scare me at all. Like, I thought Tobias Harris was gonna be solid in this role because he's not the perimeter main perimeter scorer no more. You got Hart and Maxey. Like sometimes he played cool. Like they closed out game, he had 19. That's solid. But he's not a bucket like that. And without Embiid making that shit go around, he's gonna have to be the second option in certain aspects of scoring. And I don't think he could do that no more. I don't think him and Harden can do what they used to could do as far as put the ball in the bucket. So that's a problem. Danny Green, I mean, shout out to my UNC boy, but he gonna hit a couple threes here, hit a couple threes there. But other than that, he's not really a big threat. I'm not really worried about this series. I wasn't worried about it with Embiid, but without Embiid, it's almost gonna be a sweep. But I want to be cool and go with 5 instead of 4, just because it's just out of respect, I guess, whatever. But yeah, Miami sweeping them up, cleaning. I mean, not sweeping them up, beating their ass, and that's just what we're gonna go with. Moving right along to probably the best series of the second round, we got the Bucks and the Celtics. I did a lot of looking into this series because I just really was torn on who to go with. So I looked up the numbers and you got so we don't have no Middleton. They already announced that. So Giannis against against the Celtics this season averaged 28, 10, and 4. That's solid. Drew Holiday averaged 20.8, 4.8 rebounds, and 8 assists, which is all higher than his averages for the season. So he plays better against Boston than he do most teams. So it's like he's gonna have to step up and play huge this series without Middleton. I need him to probably match what JB can bring to the table. Like he has to be the second option that's getting buckets, that's playing defense, that's creating for others. He's gonna have to be huge. I do think he is the key to this series. I mean, obviously Giannis got to play like Giannis, but I mean Giannis look up and you be like, damn, Giannis ain't playing good, and he had 26 and 10. So it's like Giannis gonna get his numbers. Tatum gonna get his numbers. I need Drew to stick with JB for sure if we're gonna have action at this because when you look at it, none of these players can guard Tatum. Tatum averaged, if I'm not mistaken, let me look, he averaged 8 and 3 on a 44% shooting from three. He's 35% on the season. So he almost shot 10% better from three against the Bucks. So that lets you know they don't really have much that could guard him. So I do feel like, even though I'm not saying he's as good as Giannis, because of the matchup that he has, I think he's going to be able to match what Giannis is able to put out there as far as numbers go. I think Tatum will have a huge series against Boston. Against the Bucks. Especially, Middleton for him to kind of go at it with, I think he's going to definitely have a big series. So Giannis, that's going to cancel out. We need Drew to cancel out JB, and then we'll see where we go from there. You know what I'm saying? I look at it, when you look at their bench, they coming off with Covington, Grayson Allen, and Javon Carter. So they're not really that deep, but neither is Boston. So they have shooting. The shooters are going to be huge this series. If the Bucks are going to win this series, their shooters are all going to have to be hit. They're going to have to be putting up shots, and they're going to have to be knocking them down because Giannis is going to be getting a lot of attention. He's going to have to be able to get guys shots, and they're going to have to be able to make them. But the thing is with Giannis, I do think this series is a little bit different. Like, I've been seeing some people like, oh, they just able to stop KD. Why they won't be able to stop Giannis? It's two different things. Like with KD's a jump shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like KD like to get to his mid-range jumpers, and he like to pull up from deep, and he'd get to the hole if he need to. But after the injuries he don't get to the hole like he used to no more. So that kind of taken out of his game somewhat. So you could get in somebody and make them start overthinking a jumper, or once he miss a couple, kind of lose rhythm, bump him off his position. Like with Giannis though, he's coming full force at you downhill, and he's trying to get to the rim, and you can't stop him from getting to the rim. So it's going to be harder to stop him. I know people are saying, oh, well, if Giannis cooking, KD finna get cooked more. I just think that's kind of unfair based off of the way, like, Boston had the wings that could kind of get with KD. They don't have the big that can get with Giannis. It's like Shaq is just skinnier. Like he's down there, he's down low, he's going to get his points. I don't see them doing nowhere near as good of a job as they did on him as KD, because they don't have like Robert Williams in there. I don't see them, like, Robert Williams is a great defender, but I don't see him slowing down Giannis. Like it's just not gonna happen. So when he look at his numbers, his shoot, I definitely feel good about it. Now, like on the other end, like I said, Tatum 31, Jaylen Brown averaged 22, 6 and 6. So like I said, his 22, 6 and 6, Drew 25 and 8. It's kind of similar. He just got to stay in the same ballpark. they're also not that deep of a team. They come off the bench with Grant, White, Pritchard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Grant was huge in that last series as far as defense, his shot making. So we're going to see. Like, it's really going to come down to who bench players. Is Covington and Grayson Allen going to do better than White and Grant? How that's going to really work out? It's kind of tough. It's kind of a toss-up. But at the end of the day, in a series that's this close, you got to go with the best player in the world, man. If you think a series is going 7, 9 times out of 10, like for me, if it's going 7, in my opinion, which I do think this is going 7, I don't see how you don't go with the best player. And Giannis is clearly the best player in the world. This is his time. I just don't see how he lose to them this round. I don't see him going home in the second round. I got Boston. I mean, I got the Bucks in 7. I really want to say the Bucks in 6. I really want to say the Bucks in 6, but out of respect for the Boston defense and what they've been doing lately, and they've gotten hot, I will say Bucks in 7. And that's interesting because it's like if the Celtics do lose this second round, and because you know they even got their high hopes up on the conference finals and they think they're gonna beat the Heat and get to the finals, that's cool. Not happening, but that's cool. If they lose in the second round, so it's like we back to the drawing board on what is JB gonna do? Because to me, like as far as what I was saying, as far as the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, like they was kind of mixing because Jaylen Brown didn't really want to be the second option like that. Like, you know, it's kind of like, oh, we 1A, 1B. That's not gonna work for y'all. But I do think Jaylen Brown still feel like he could be a number 1 option, or at least the number 1 wing option. Like I keep saying, he could go join somebody else, but if they play different position, he'll still be able to get his just due and his shine. He's never gonna make. I mean, not never, but more than likely, he's probably not gonna make All NBA teams as long as he's playing with Jason Tatum because it's a wing clearly better. Y'all gonna have to dominate on such a high level for both of y'all to make All NBA team. It's gonna be tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look at DeMar and LaVine this year. They was having good seasons, but they can't put LaVine on there and they got the role. Like, it's tough, like, you know? So I think he's gonna look at that. He got 1 more year in his contract. He's eligible to sign the max this summer. So we'll see. If they lose to the Bucks, I'm gonna be very interested to see if he signed that long-term contract or if he said he gonna wait it out, because him signing that long-term contract would be him saying, I'm okay being the second option. I'm okay making my money and going for wins over my personal accolades. I don't know what he's gonna pick because I don't know these players personally. I'm just saying I know a lot of these players that then had to make these decisions over these last few years have wanted, if they haven't already been a star player, wanted to go where they could become a star. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you continue to make them, and that's where the commercials come from. That's where the life after basketball come from, is doing all of these other stuff. Like you look at, like everybody can't be a Draymond who could just be a star and they role and still be great off the court and have all these endorsements and have these podcasts and stuff. For somebody like JB, who's super smart, who's super intelligent, who know the game of basketball, he could have a great after basketball career. He just got to put himself in a position where he could really blossom. Not saying he can't blossom here, but it's just, it'll never be what it could be if he goes somewhere else. So I'm gonna be interested to see that. If he do sign a long-term contract, then hey, they rocking it out. Then we was wrong that that he wasn't happy in that role. We will see though. Like, you know what I'm saying? The thing about sports that I love is it always got to come to a head. These days is gonna come. Free agency gonna come. Either he gonna sign or he gonna try to play out next year and then go from there. So it'll be very interesting. I do think if they get to the conference finals, to the finals, obviously I don't think he'd be too eager to leave. I didn't think that was even possible months ago when we first came with this prediction, because they was in the 11th seed. So to act like that was unreasonable, I don't know what to really tell you. But we will see what he do this summer with the Supermax, if he sign, if he want to stay with Tatum, or do he want to test his wings and go somewhere else. I do think they're going home. I'm telling you, I want to say 6, but we're gonna stick with 7. We sticking with 7. Moving right along. Now we into the Western Conference. You know what I'm saying? We got the Warriors and Memphis. Now, when you look at the Warriors last series, everything looked like it was just clicking. Everything looked good. Steph averaged 28. Clay averaged 22.6. Jordan Poole averaged 21. Now, the 21 sounds good, but when you really look at the 21, the last 2 games, he only averaged 9.5 points. The first 3, he averaged 28.6. So I feel like all three. I just don't. I feel like it's tough to get all three of them on the court and for them all three to be able to get the shots that they need. Because Clay, like he's a volume shooter, Curry is, and so is Jordan Poole. So how can you have three volume shooters out there all at the same time trying to all get buckets? And they haven't played together all year like that. Like you know what I'm saying? They haven't had no minutes with all three of them on the court. I just, I honestly feel like you got to make a decision and put one of them on the bench. Because if you don't put one of them on the bench, now not only do you have a problem with one of them not getting their shots off, you have no bench scoring. Who do you come off the bench with to get you a bucket? Like, I don't really, I'm looking at it and okay, Gary Payne Jr. had 15 off the bench last game, 10 in the fourth quarter. That was amazing. He doesn't usually do that. So if you can't expect him to give you 15, Otto Porter Jr. only gave him 3 last game. Kevon Looney only gave him 4. They both played 20 plus minutes. Kaminga's not getting any minutes. You know what I'm saying? So you only going 3 deep off the bench. Where is your scoring supposed to come from? I think you got to pick between Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson. And I know, and I really feel like you got to leave Wiggins out there just because like they need some more defense along with Dre. It got to be between Poole and Klay. And for me, I've been saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it. I know Warrior fans think I'm crazy, but I do think that Klay needs to go to the bench. And it's not like a thing where go to the bench and you're not gonna be getting no run. Like he's still gonna be playing 30 something minutes. It's just the way that they staggering the minutes could be better. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's all I'm saying. Just to start the game off. Start the game off like Curry. I mean, like Curry and Jordan Poole getting a rhythm. Boom. Klay come in, take Jordan Poole out. All right, now he playing with Steph, or you want to take them both out, let him come just with the second unit and Draymond. That's cool. Then let him get his shots up. Now everybody kind of finding a rhythm. Now when the second half come, if you want to play them together, that's cool. Like it's cool to spurt this lineup on them. What is it called? PTSD or whatever they call it. But that's messed up though, because how you gonna call it PTSD and just leave Wiggins out? Whatever, bro. Wiggins constantly getting disrespected with these niggas. But it is what it is. The PTSD lineup, I do not think that should be started. I think that should just be like, spread it on them. Now let's try to go on a run and pull away from a team. Like if you going on a little, like if you up 4-5, it's like boom, let's throw PTSD out there and run them up to 15 or something real quick. You know what I'm saying? Not constantly have them out there together. That's just my opinion. I really do think they shouldn't do it. Like I would start obviously Curry, Poole, Wiggins, Draymond, and I'd probably throw Looney out there and just go back with the big lineup. And then my bench would be Gary Payton for defense, Klay coming off the bench, still getting 35, 30 some minutes, Otto Porter. And me, I would be giving Kuminga some more minutes, honestly, because especially in these early series, like where you don't think that they is too much of a threat, why would you not be giving your young top 10 pick some minutes in these key moments? He's part of your future. He's part of what you're going to be doing going forward. I just don't see how he can't get more than 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if he played this whole series. He's averaged, let me see, postseason. He averaged 6 minutes and 3 points. You got to find more than 6 minutes for your guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He played 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 11 minutes, and 5 minutes. In one of the games, he didn't even play. He didn't even get in game 3. So it's like that's unacceptable, bro. Like to me, that's just not good building. And it's like, why not throw him out there in the fire for at least 12 minutes? Let him just see what it's like. Now, next year, when you might be counting on him to give you some clutch minutes, and he actually in the rotation, he ain't gonna really know what the playoffs about because y'all didn't want to throw him out there. I would definitely throw him out here against a physical team like Memphis. I think he could really help. I would get him on the court. But if they continue to start the 3, I think they can still win this series, but I don't think that's a conducive. Like I don't think that's something that's gonna work on forward. If they gotta see the Phoenix or somebody like that, and you starting on 3 and one of them can't get going and it's off all game, I just don't see that being good for them. But as far as this series go, even if they did start on 3, I think they'd be good to go. But I would be getting ready for what's later to come in Phoenix. And if we can get past Phoenix, the Bucks or the Heat or whoever it is, you got to start getting your lineup together. That's just me. That's just where I stand with the Warriors. I really feel like that's the best way for them to approach it. You look at Memphis. Memphis just played a crazy series against the Wolves. And I wasn't really that impressed with how they played. You know what I'm saying? Ja got to be way better. Like he had games where he just stunk it up. And you know what I'm saying? but I do feel like he'd have a better series this series because the Wolves had a lot of dogs. Like they got a lot of people that they could throw at you that could get physical, that could get in your jersey, and they could make it tough for a guy like Ja, who's not a great shooter yet. I don't think the Warriors had that same lineup, because Curry not finna just lock up. Curry, and I've been telling y'all this for a year. Everybody started coming around now. Curry defense has gotten better. Him and D Book don't get the credit they deserve on defense, but he's not a lockdown defender. He's not finna lock down Ja, and that's okay. He don't have to be that. Jordan Poole's not a lockdown defender. Clay used to be a lockdown defender, but he's still working his way back through it. I don't see none of them three being able to stop Ja consistently, and I don't think you could have Draymond on him throughout the whole game. So, I mean, maybe they throw Wiggins on them, but I just feel like this is a team that if Wiggins get in foul trouble or something like that, Gary Payton Jr. will come off the bench. He's small, but he's physical, but I just don't see. I think Ja will have a big series. I do think Ja could give us some good numbers. I think he got the playoff jitters out. You know what I'm saying? Like that was only his second playoff series he ever been in. Only the first one he was favored in. So you know what I mean? They going back home. They kind of got that out the way. They know what the Warriors, like Ja said in his post game, we got to be way better. Yeah, you have to be way better. You should have said, I got to be way better. But as a team, they got to be better as well. But he got to play huge for them to have any type of shot. Bane, hey man, Bane is a hooper, man. All Bane really got to do for me is keep doing what he's doing. I think he averaged like 23 and a half last series with like 5 and rebound 6 or something like that. Like he got to be in them numbers. I think that he needs to probably be obviously like the fourth leading scorer this year. Ja needs to be up 25 plus. Obviously, Steph is going to probably be 25 plus. Jordan Poole or Clay, one of them is going to probably be in the 22, 23. He needs to be either the third leading scorer under Ja and Curry or right under whoever the next Warrior guy is. He cannot get outscored by Clay and Jordan Poole. If he's not being aggressive and getting them what they need, this series could be wrapped up quick. But Bane is the key for them. He has to be aggressive. He got to play with confidence. I think he shot almost 50% from three this series. I know he shot over like almost 50% from two. Like the boy's a hooper, and he keep that up. They can make some noise, but I mean it's all based on that. I mean I feel like they found when you got Ja and Bane, I feel like they found their backcourt for the next 10 years. So I think that they're excited about that. But I mean, in a series like this, it's going to be huge to see how Bane step up against these other guys, and it's particularly Clay because like as the playoffs get on, he's getting healthier, he's getting his legs under him, and he's used to this. Clay and Curry, this is what they do. They win playoff games. They know how to do this. They've only lost, I think, one series, or I think Curry only lost 4 series in his career, but I don't know if they've ever lost a series where all three has played every game of the series. So that'd be big if Memphis they gotta know what they're getting themselves into. Also, Jaren Jackson Jr. Bro, what the fuck, bro? Like, why do you be in so much foul trouble, bro? Like, you commit some of the dumbest fouls I've ever seen. I'm watching the game, like, what the fuck? Like, bro. And I know you had a tough assignment in Cat, but it's like, bro, you get some fouls that's like make no sense. You cannot be getting stupid fouls, causing yourself to get out the game. And then when you actually do take a good foul or it's just a tough foul against Cat, now you damn near fouled out. You can't be fouling out of 3 out of 6 games, bro. Not making 100 something, like, you supposed to be the second option. Clearly, you're not the second option. It's Bane. But I still need you to be a part of this big three. I need you to be out on the court. I need you to be able to play more than 25 minutes because I need you to not be getting in fucking foul trouble. You need to be able to stay out there, guard the rim, which you're great at, because even though you fouled out of 3 games, you still almost averaged 3 blocks. So that lets you know how dominant you are on defense, but you need to stay in the game. Like Clark, he undersized, and I get he good. He did a good job replacing you in minutes where you needed it, but he cannot be called on for more than he can't play more minutes than you in these games, and if y'all expect to win, we need you out there. You need to be out there hitting threes. You need to be out there rolling. You need to be out there making sure these guys don't get to the rim. When they switch, you need to be out there playing on Poole, playing on Curry, and making sure you doing what you need to do. Stop taking these weak ass reach fouls. Stop no charge, none of that weak shit, bro. Stay in the game and give your team a shot to win. If Jaren Jackson Jr. is out there, he gonna be one of the biggest dudes on the court. I just don't see how he's not a difference maker if he stayed on the court. But I just don't. He frustrates me, bro. I was watching them games realistically irritated. Like, what are you doing? But then they also got Dylan Brooks. I feel like he's another key piece. I mean, Dylan Brooks, bro, you could hit the three and he could play defense. So he's probably gonna get the Curry matchup early. Dylan Brooks probably gonna have to guard him. That's cool. He could get on Curry. You can't get in foul trouble. You found out the last game as well. Y'all some hacks, bro. Like Memphis, I get that y'all trying to be gritty, but y'all got to stop fucking hacking, bro. This is ridiculous. Y'all gonna get yourself beat the fuck out of if y'all continue to do what y'all doing, bro. I need y'all to play better. I need y'all to play more strategic. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all bench not, there's no other team with a deep bench left in the playoffs other than Miami. So y'all gotta have you getting the foul trouble is really putting yourself at a disadvantage. Dylan got to be out there. Jaren Jackson got to be out there, and Ja and Bane got to do what they do. If that happened, we could cook. But Ja, I mean, 17, 11, and 8, that's not a horrible game. You know what I'm saying? 4 for 14 is not good, though. But 17, 11, and 8, not a horrible game. But you can't have no game like that in this series. Any game where you only scoring 17 points and you're not aggressive and you only making 4 shots, y'all going to get blew out. You went 0 for 5 from 3. You made 9 out of 12 free throws. That's not a great game, bro. You got to do way better than that against this Warrior team. But this series, I do think Ja gonna do his shit. Dylan Brooks and Bane is gonna be big. So I will say Warriors in 6. I have been thinking Warriors in 5. I really wanted to say 5, but I'm going with 6 because I do think Ja and them, and they got home court, so that's big. I think they can pull off 2 against them. And it's just like these are constant growing pains for them. You know what I'm saying? Last year they lost in the first round. They won game 1 and then lost the next 4. All winnable games for them. Now this year you get the high seed, you get past the first round, so you get beat that hurdle. Now you're going to be against a team that's been a championship caliber team for almost a decade now. You go up against them. If you could get 2 games off of them, you continue to build in the right direction. Come this offseason, see if you could get some. It's crazy because Iggy left them and they'd be like talking hella shit to Iggy. But Iggy is the type of player that they really do need. Somebody that could like weather the storm and keep them focused on the pride and not get too high and too low. Because what Josh showed last series is sometimes he could get too high when they win, he could get too low when they lose. Like they got to find a way to balance that out in the middle. They need some more vets. So Iggy would have been perfect if he would have decided to stay with them. But since he didn't, it's good. They gonna find another one. Keep building out the depth. I feel like your starters is cool. Bane is turning into the second option, so we ain't got to really worry about Jaren Jackson doing that too much. I think they got a solid roster. I think they gonna keep building in the right direction. They could be competing for a championship in a couple years for sure if they continue to make the right pieces. I mean, keep making the right moves, But Warriors in 6. To the last series we go. It's a tough one for me, man, because the Suns is my preseason pick to win it all. I've been rocking all season. I haven't wavered one time. I just think this is CP3 and D-Book time to get this shit done. But y'all know, well, I mean, if y'all been watching, y'all know. Luka the Don, man. That's my guy. I rock with him. I fucks with him tough. I think he the best young player in the league. I think he got potential to be the face of the league. I think he got potential to be the best player in the league. I think he got potential to be a top 10 all-time player when it's all said and done. Obviously, you got to start getting accolades up, but what he bring to the table, like I told y'all on my first episode almost a year ago, he is the next Bron without the athleticism. If you just stop worrying about people jumping out the gym, what he brings to the table as far as the complete game, now he's had 3rd season averaging at least 28, 8, and 8. It's only up from here. But this is going to be a tough series for him. You know what I'm saying? Phoenix is bringing a lot to the table, man. When you look at what CP3 been doing, he been playing out of his mind. D-Book is back. I didn't think he was going to be back early, but him playing a game last series, him getting in that last game, even though he didn't do too good, I do feel like that was big for him as far as his development and keep coming along with the injury. So that, and then they got all them 3D guys. Like I said on my last pod, Phoenix is the perfect 2022 in basketball team, in my opinion. Great guard, a scorer, a bunch of 3-and-D guys that can shoot the 3, a big man that can hit the little mid-range and play defense. You got bench shooters, you got bench guards, you got a backup center. They have everything you need. So for Luka and them to really even have a shot, I think Luka gonna have to be generational. Like I think he's gonna have to have one of them series where it's like, oh, okay, he's arrived. Like this is the series that put him on the map type shit. Like, and he already had, I mean, in his 16 games, he only had 2 games under 20. And I think he didn't have 5 40-point games or something like that. So he's already rose to the occasion. His first game ever, he scored 42 points in the playoffs. His opening debut. So he's ready for the moment, but I think he's going to have to be 33, 34, shit, 35, almost average a triple double with 34, 35 points for them to have a shot. Brunson, and I hate having to talk about Brunson because he's one of my most hated college players ever. Hated him at Villanova, hated everything he stood for, hated that they beat us at Villanova, but he been balling. And Luka is probably gonna outplay D Book. No disrespect to D Book, I love D Book, but he's not Luka. I do think he's gonna have a big series, but not as big as Luka. I do think Brunson gotta either play CP3 even or outplay him for them to have a shot. And I know that is a huge ask because CP3 is legendary. He a top 6 point guard all time. He's one of the best we've ever seen as far as being a floor general, you know? But Brunson going to have to be big. And hey, CP3, the reason he's not in my top 5 is because he has playoff moments where he chokes, where he come up short, where he doesn't play to the level that we've seen him play. Like that's my biggest gripe against him is he don't always show up. Like he'd do good one series and come back the next series and be like, what happened to the guy that was just playing last series? So if Brunson could come out and ball and play consistent and Luka could give him and let him shine, I do think they'll have a little bit of a shot. And they shooters going to have to hit. I mean, you look at Kleber, Dinwiddie. I can't believe I'm saying it, but Finney Smith being a shooter is hilarious. That's like, for people that know me, that's like Leaky Black turning into a shooter at North Carolina. Like, I would have never seen no shit like that coming, but the boy really can knock it down now. And I'm impressed. So him hitting shots, Bullock hitting shots, Dinwiddie hitting shots, Kleber, they going to need everybody full go with Luka playing out of his mind. All of that going to have to happen for this to be a good series. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking it was gonna be no D Book. If it was gonna be no D Book, I realistically would have went with Dallas. But the fact that he's not playing, the fact that he is playing is tough. Denver don't. Dallas only bring 2 people off the bench. They only bring Kleber and Dinwiddie off the bench. Bertan gets no minutes. Green gets no minutes. So it's like they really don't have too many people. So they go 7 deep. Luka played 42 minutes last game. Brunson played 38. Bullock played 46, and Finney Smith played. No, sorry. Bullock played 44, and Finney Smith played 46. So they not a deep team. That's where they're gonna get hurt because, like I said, the Suns is bringing people off the bench. The Suns don't have to play as hard as they do. So like, I don't know if Luka and Brunson is gonna be as fresh as CP and D Book come fourth quarters because they're going to have to play a lot more minutes. So if it's close, Luka to me is one of the, if not the most clutchest player still in the NBA. He up there now. Like I feel like, which lets you know how clutch you is the other day when game 4 when Utah won and they was only up like 2 or 3 at the end of the game. My whole timeline, oh fuck, if Luka get the ball, Luka finna bust their ass. Like he's to the point in his career, this early in his career, where if he gets off a shot at the buzzer or with the clutch moment, we all expect it to go in. That lets you know how clutch he is. That lets you know how many big shots he didn't hit. I feel like obviously CP3 been clutch too, the book, but if it come down to last possession game and it's under a minute, I think Mavs will get some of these games. So they gotta just stay close in the fourth quarter. Let Luka bring it home. Shooters shoot. Brunson hit some big shots when he needed. Powell catching them live, and Luka bring it home. But like I said, I really would want to have picked at them, but just because I would love to see Luka go far in the playoffs. But like I said, man, CP3 and D Book, bro, it's too much they bring to the table. I think they get them out of here in 6. Really, it could be a shorter series based around based on the role players. But out of respect for my boy Luka the Don, the future face of the NBA, I'm gonna give him 2 games and say Phoenix roll off to play the Warriors. They both get it done in 6. So the way we looking at it, Bucks in 7, Miami in 5, and both Western Conference series is going 6. So this is what we've been looking at almost all year. Miami, the Bucks, Phoenix and the Warriors been on collision course the whole season. That's going to be the best series of the playoffs. Can't wait to get into that. But hey, man, just wanted to come in since we don't have any games today and give y'all what I think about going on for the season. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for the second round. I also my next episode will be talking about where I think the teams that lost in the first round, where do they go from here? Do some of them need to blow it up? Utah, do they need to, for me, just build a few more pieces? What do they need to do to take that next step, or how do they retool moving forward? So tune in for that. You know what I'm saying? Later on next week, we're going to be getting some of my guys back on, Quan, Juan, Kev, Millie. We're going to try to get Reg back on. He out celebrating our brother's birthday. Shout out to Reek. Happy birthday, brother. We signing out. Can't wait for the second round of these playoffs to get started. Hey, man, Dead Spot Podcast. We out. Like, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify. Y'all know what to do. Peace.